He stole his father's emeralds, and now his son has become his daughter. Yes, I am talking about the world's richest man, Elon Musk. Now, just today in court, Elon's former son, Xavier, filed to formally, well, now his son is his daughter, and she filed to change her name to something like Vivian Wilson, and to sever all formal and otherwise ties with her father, Elon Musk. Now, Elon has, as part of his own personal mythos, because he's somebody that's interested in his own image, to say the least. He didn't formally sever his ties with his father, Errol, named after Errol Flynn, not the Detroit street gang, the Errol Flynns, who are named after the actor Errol Flynn. Oh, you didn't know Detroit's most infamous street gang of the 1970s was named after a white Hollywood actor from the 1930s? The streets get weird. The Errol Flynns. Anywho, so Elon's father, Errol, I'm about to call him Errol Flynn, Errol Musk, the two of them, so Elon is referred to him as a horrible person and etc. And as of just a few years ago, when Errol Musk's stepdaughter was kicked out of the house by her boyfriend, she came to spend the night at stepdad's house because she didn't have anywhere to go, and she ended up with a baby. So Elon has a half, I think it's a daughter. He has a little half-sister. Elon's 55, his half-sister's 2. And her and the mother live with Errol. They're in South Africa. They're not married because it is his stepdaughter. Let's see. Errol also killed 3 people who broke into his house. Well, let me not use air quotes. South Africa is very dangerous. So his father killed 3 people and was initially charged with manslaughter, but it was broken down as self-defense. Depending on how much interest. I guess I could try to look into the South African papers, and nobody really looked into the story. Could he have been just arguing with 3 black men he had a business dealing with, and they were at his house, and he killed them and called it a break-in? Because South Africa's so dangerous. I was watching a cops show in South Africa, and so these cops got a call like, oh, some people are going to rob this restaurant. This is a cops. This is like in America, even in a bad neighborhood, they might raid a crack house or something. These cops go to this like a nice restaurant that looks, regular, and they hide in the restaurant, and 5 men storm in with machine guns, and the cops pop up and kill 2 of them. It's insanity. So it is plausible that there were some burglars in Errol's home and he killed them. But who knows? Now, a source of contention and debate, because Elon wants to be known as totally self-made. For those who don't know, his money comes from PayPal. He was an early PayPal person, cashed out and used those billions to start the other companies. Incidentally, Elon's father, Errol, used to build rockets that he launched, and the Falcon 9 that SpaceX has created, I guess, is kind of like a perfection's the word, but a advancement of the senior Musk's earlier work during Elon's childhood. Now, a big source of contention with Elon, and you can see his version of events mildly change, and his father's is totally different from his, about the family's wealth. So, one year, Errol was flying him and his children from Pretoria, which is, for those of you a little older, remember the apartheid era. That's the infamous city like songs were made in Pretoria, like by rock groups like anti-apartheid. Like that place was the symbol of apartheid. So they had the biggest house in Pretoria. So Elon Musk grew up in the largest house in the capital of racism in the world, at least symbolically at the time. I don't know if that means anything, but there you go. So Errol was flying the family somewhere, I think to like Djibouti or something from South Africa, and due to an inconvenient Jewish holiday, the airport was going to charge them more to land, so they took a little layover near Lake Tanganyika, whatever. It's a big lake in Africa, where they met some Italian gentlemen who were living in the middle of some obscure place in Africa and had a whole bunch of cash, and they offered to buy Elon Musk's airplane on the spot for $80,000. This is like in probably mid-70s, which he took. They gave it to him in cash, and then they said, hey, do you want to use some of that cash to buy a half share in an emerald mine we have in Zambia? So if you were in Africa, probably still now, and do have some money, it's a place with a lot of poor people and a lot of natural resources. So if you're there and you have some capital, it's probably easy to enrich yourself further. So anyways, the Musk family did buy a emerald mine. And so Elon Musk talks about having a hard childhood. The pictures don't certainly look like it. Again, people that were there said they had the biggest house in Pretoria. His father was an engineer. They did construction projects as well. He had a private plane, which he sold to these Italians. Bought an emerald mine, which they had for 6 years. And now even Elon tells this story, so it isn't made up. Elon and his brother one day took a couple emeralds and went into Tiffany, I think in London or New York or LA or wherever they were at. I don't know, where were they at? Was it in South Africa? Anyways, they walked into Tiffany's, sold the emeralds, one for $800, one for $1,200, went back in the store a few days later, and Tiffany had set the emerald on a ring, and it was now $24,000. So these emeralds were just laying around in their home. So, and they weren't even secured. So, and Elon's father said they used to have so much cash because the jewel business, even now, like in parts of Africa, blood diamonds, it's a cash business. He said they would have so much money they couldn't close the safe. They would push the safe closed and there'd be bills hanging out. So, living like a rapper, can't close the safe. I can't think anything around with that, but that's definitely been used in a rap song. I've got so much money I can't close my safe. So Elon Musk's family had so much money they couldn't close the safe, which is fine, I guess, in the capital of racist apartheid in the biggest house. And now his son has become his daughter. And Xavier now is Vivian Wilson. Doesn't even want the Musk last name. I mean, I don't think anyone's under the illusion at this point that, money equals happiness. But I guess, being the drive to be ultra successful comes with many casualties, and Elon learned something from his father and now doesn't even want to acknowledge what he got from his father or whatever. I mean, they moved. Oh, sorry, I'm outside. Noise. Okay, so even when they moved to the United States, which Elon said was difficult, they moved to Malibu, and Malibu's been very expensive for a very long time. So, and again, all that's fine. It doesn't mean Elon Musk isn't great or whatever, but my only fear, I mean, we saw what happened with Donald Trump, where people equate the ability to make money, or someone who's inherited. The kid Donald Trump, he literally didn't make any money. Probably, if all the money he'd inherited from his father had just been put in the stock market, he'd actually be a billionaire instead of a fake billionaire. But thinking that just because someone knows how to make money, they should be in, or that Elon Musk, because he can start a company that still may fail, Tesla, that I don't want him to get any delusions or anyone to get any delusions. He should be in decision-making capacity of our entire society, which is an idea that comes out of science fiction books, and I'm sure little Elon read, because I read the same ones. Check out the Apple TV Foundation series, and there's many other examples. This idea that society can be figured out. In fact, the essence of Freemasonry. What is a mason? A mason is a builder, form of an architect. What does an architect do? He constructs the buildings that compose civilization, which controls how human beings live. Your son becomes your daughter, changes their last name. Your father buys the biggest house in the capital of racist oppression with Blood Emeralds. Elon Musk, I'm talking about you. Al Prophet American Dope.